What up, Tigers? Welcome to the very first ever podcast on The Roar. My name is Philip Davis, and today we have a very special guest from ETBU Baptist Student Ministry. Claire, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey Philip, so glad to be here today. My name is Claire Chesley, and I am the campus missionary intern for our Baptist Student Ministry. I am a senior here at ETBU, graduating this fall, and in the spring I'll be starting my master's in Christian ministry.
Can you tell us a little bit more about BSM and specifically Ignite?
Our Baptist Student Ministry here serves to engage students, be able to provide community, a good Christian community, and we have several events throughout the semester and year for our students to be able to serve, worship, fellowship, all that sorts of stuff. One of our favorite events that is actually coming up in about 2 weekends from now is our fall retreat. And that's just a time where we go away for a weekend to an outdoor just retreat center about an hour away, and we just have worship and Bible study and fellowship and fun, and that's always a hit. So that's one of our big events coming up. We also provide opportunities for students to get plugged into small groups here on campus. We have our student leaders who lead these groups. We have 8 this semester, I believe. We have 5 groups just for women and 3 for co-ed. And they meet once a week, and it's just a fun time to get plugged into one of those groups. We also have Ignite, which Philip previously mentioned, and that is our weekly worship and Bible study gathering that we have Tuesdays at 8 p.m. in the Untitled Chapter. That's upstairs in the Student Center. Each semester we are taught a different topic by our BSM director, David Griffin. And occasionally we have students from our leadership team speak. And this semester we're going to be hearing a lot more from our student leaders, so we're excited about that. And like I said, we have worship, and it's just a really, really good special time, especially in the Untitled Chapel. The acoustics in there are just A1. This semester, our director is going to be speaking on the topic of being faithful in troubled times, because, these are obviously some troubling times that we live in. And so we're going to learn how to press in and be faithful during these times.
So, the very first time that you went to Ignite, what drove you towards it, or what kind of brought you in? Why did you end up going your very first time?
That's a great question. I'm trying to think back because, like I said, I'm a senior now, so that was quite a bit ago. But I think that a few of my friends I met at Tiger Camp, who we are all best friends and real close now and live together, I think we just had an interest in going, so we just went to check it out one night. And it was a great time. I love worship, so that was kind of a pushing factor for me. Yeah, we saw some people we knew and some familiar faces around campus and met new people too, so it was a good time. That's kind of when I first got plugged into the BSM, was through Ignite.
So let's say someone's on the fence about going to Ignite. What can they expect, and why should they come out to Ignite?
Yeah, so Ignite serves as just another little time for worship with your fellow believers and to get into God's Word and hear it outside of our regular required chapel times on Mondays and Wednesdays. And I think, Philip, how this really differs from chapel is, well, number one, it's a very much smaller scale. We don't have the whole student body in one big room. Like I said, we meet in Untitled Chapel. So if you know where that is or what it looks like, it's very much smaller. Because of this environment, it is much more intimate. We're able to facilitate discussion and just a place of vulnerability, and just, like I said, the intimate setting is really what sets this apart from chapel.
So we talked about fall retreat, we just touched on Ignite. Is there anything else that BSM does that you would like people to be more aware of?
So we have 2 different fundraising opportunities that we use to fundraise for the BSM. One of them is our missions run. It's called a Wacky, Tacky missions run. And so that raises money for Go Now, which is the Texas BSM. That is what their collegiate missionary sending ministry is called. So we raise money for that, and that's a really cool event. You get to dress up wacky and tacky, as the name suggests, and you'll get prizes and stuff for that. I think it's like $1 to enter or something like that, but don't take my word for that. The next thing is our finals care packages. So students, tell your parents about this. They'll probably get an email too, because I think that's how my parents found out about it, because I had no idea what this was. But at the end of each semester, some of our student leadership team, we get together and create these final care packages that we will then deliver to y'all's dorms. And they have like really cool things like chips and pencils and pens and highlighters, lifesavers, Hershey Kisses, all of that good stuff.
So if someone wanted to stay more up to date on BSM or want to know more about it, where could they find that information?
Yeah, so on the website, you can find information all about fall retreat, the finals care packages that I mentioned. If you are interested in being a student leader on the leadership team, there's an application for that. Our ministry teams, our small group signups. You can also find us on Instagram at ETBUBSM, and we post a lot of updates and information about our ministry on that page.
All right. Well, thank you, Claire, for doing this. We really appreciate it. And
yeah.
Thank you to whoever is listening. Make sure you follow us on social media at @TheRoar_ETBUcom. This podcast was created by ETBU communication students, produced by Caroline Korolowitz, written by Jamie Davis, interviewed by Philip Davis, edited by Kat Chillis, and set up by Nate Purvis.